Joshua was an experienced military commander who had proven his valor and loyalty over many years. He had been one of the 12 spies sent by Moses to reconnoiter the land of Canaan, and was one of only 2 who returned with an optimistic report, urging the people to trust in God's promise and conquer the land. When the time came for the Israelites to enter Canaan, God chose Joshua to be their new leader. Under Joshua's command, the Israelites miraculously crossed the Jordan River and began the conquest of the Promised Land, city by city. Joshua displayed brilliant military strategy, faith in God, and unwavering courage, qualities that would all be put to the ultimate test in the events described in Joshua chapter 10. As the Israelites advanced into Canaan, they encountered fierce resistance from the various Canaanite city-states that occupied the land. One of the key battles occurred at the walled city of Jericho, where the Israelites achieved a stunning victory through the miraculous collapse of Jericho's formidable walls. With this initial victory, the conquest of Canaan was underway. But the Canaanite kings soon realized they needed to band together to stop the Israelite onslaught. A coalition of Amorite kings, led by Adonizedek the king of Jerusalem, plotted to attack the Gibeonites, who had made a peace treaty with the Israelites. When Joshua learned of the Amorite attack on Gibeon, he quickly led his army to the defense of his new Gibeonite allies. The 2 armies clashed at a place called Gibeon, and the Israelites routed their enemies. The fleeing Amorites were then struck by a devastating hailstorm sent by God, with large hailstones raining down and killing many of the soldiers. But the battle was not yet over. As night began to fall, Joshua knew that if darkness came, the Amorites would escape under the cover of night. And so, in a moment of immense faith and audacity, Joshua cried out to the Lord, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, a moon, over the valley of Aijalon." And the Bible records that the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on its enemies. The daylight was supernaturally extended, allowing the Israelites to continue their pursuit and massacre of the Amorite forces. This astounding miracle, the apparent halting of the sun's movement across the sky, is one of the most famous and dramatic events in the Bible. For hours, the sun and moon remained fixed in their positions, defying the normal laws of nature, until the Israelites had completed their victory. The stopping of the sun was a pivotal moment in the Israelite conquest of Canaan, but it also held deep theological significance. This miraculous event demonstrated the awesome power of the Israelite God, Yahweh, over the pagan deities worshipped by the Canaanites. In ancient Near Eastern cosmology, the sun and moon were believed to be divine celestial beings. For the Israelites to command these heavenly bodies to halt their movements was a stunning display of Yahweh's supremacy. It was a powerful validation of Joshua's faith and leadership, and a clear message to the Canaanites that their gods were no match for the one true God. Moreover, the prolonged daylight allowed the Israelites to decisively defeat a numerically superior Amorite force. This victory paved the way for further Israelite conquests, bringing them ever closer to securing the Promised Land. The miracle of the sun standing still was thus a critical turning point in the biblical narrative, one that affirmed Yahweh's covenant promises to his chosen people. The biblical account of the sun standing still has understandably captured the imagination of believers and skeptics alike over the centuries. How are we to understand this dramatic miracle in scientific terms? What are some of the theological interpretations that have been proposed? One common interpretation is that the sun and moon did not literally stop moving, but rather that the passage is using phenomenological language to describe an unusual astronomical event. Perhaps there was a miraculous refraction of light that created the appearance of the sun and moon standing still. Or it's possible that the Israelites experienced an extended period of daylight through some kind of supernatural intervention, without an actual change in the movements of the heavenly bodies. Others have proposed more naturalistic explanations, such as a total solar eclipse that was mistaken for the sun standing still. Some have even speculated that a volcanic eruption or asteroid impact could have caused atmospheric disturbances that extended the daylight. However, these types of explanations face significant challenges in fully accounting for the biblical details. From a theological perspective, many Christian scholars have viewed the miracle as a display of Yahweh's power over the pagan Canaanite deities associated with the sun and moon. By commanding these celestial bodies to halt their movements, God demonstrated his sovereignty and the futility of trusting in false gods. The miracle has also been interpreted as a sign of God's special favor and protection over his chosen people, the Israelites. Just as he had parted the Red Sea to allow their ancestors to escape Egypt, now Yahweh was intervening in history to ensure the Israelites' conquest of Canaan. Ultimately, the biblical account of the sun standing still remains one of the most mysterious and captivating miracles in Scripture. Whether interpreted literally or metaphorically, it stands as a powerful testimony to the awesome power of the Israelite God and the unshakable faith of his servant, Joshua. The victory at Gibeon and the miracle of the sun standing still cemented Joshua's reputation as a brilliant military commander and a man of unwavering faith. Under his leadership, the Israelites continued their conquest of Canaan, city by city, until they had secured control of the Promised Land. Joshua's bold leadership and military acumen were critical factors in this success. But he also exhibited a deep trust in Yahweh that inspired the Israelite forces. Time and again, Joshua led his people into battle with the full assurance that God would grant them victory. This faith was most dramatically displayed in the events surrounding the city of Jericho. When the Israelites first arrived at the heavily fortified city, God instructed Joshua to have his army march around the walls for 7 days, and then shout, promising that the walls would miraculously collapse. Against all logical reasoning, Joshua followed these divine instructions, and the walls of Jericho came tumbling down, allowing the Israelites to conquer the city. Joshua's unwavering obedience and trust in God's plan, even in the face of seemingly impossible odds, set him apart as a truly remarkable leader. He emerges from the biblical narrative as a towering figure of faith, courage, and military genius, a man uniquely equipped by Yahweh to lead the Israelites to the fulfillment of the Promised Land. The story of Joshua and the day the sun stood still remains one of the Bible's most awe-inspiring and memorable accounts. It speaks to the power of faith, the majesty of the Israelite God, and the pivotal role of leadership in the unfolding of divine history. Whether understood literally or figuratively, the miracle at Gibeon stands as a testament to the extraordinary life and deeds of Joshua. Through his bold leadership, strategic brilliance, and unwavering trust in Yahweh, Joshua secured a crucial victory that paved the way for the Israelites' eventual conquest of Canaan. In a world that so often elevates cynicism and doubt, the story of Joshua serves as an inspiring reminder of the transformative power of faith. It encourages us to embrace the courage and conviction that define this biblical giant, and to trust that even in our darkest moments, the God of Israel is able to work miracles that defy the natural order. The day the sun stood still is a pivotal moment in salvation history, one that continues to captivate the imagination of believers and non-believers alike. It is a story that speaks to the timeless themes of divine providence, human leadership, and the ultimate triumph of righteousness over evil. And it stands as an enduring testament to the extraordinary life and legacy of Joshua, the man who commanded the very sun to stand still.